In this video, I will show you 10 examples of how to include the caregiver archetype in branding. I will present a summary of the caregiver archetype, covering its qualities and characteristics. We've got 12 main archetypes, but there are actually 60 archetypes in total. First, what is caregiver archetype? The caregiver archetype is motivated by a desire to protect and care for others and has a selfless character. The caregiver archetype's motto is love your neighbor as yourself. What are some well-known examples of the caregiver archetype? Each example is briefly described so that you can relate to it and see how this archetype may be used to define your own brand. One of the perfect examples of the caregiver archetype is UNICEF. This caregiver archetype helps children all over the world with humanitarian and developmental aid. UNICEF's For Every Child reflects its commitment to working to enhance the well-being of children all across the world. The second example is WWF, which stands for World Wildlife Fund. It is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping communities, wildlife, and the environments in which they live. WWF's slogan is for a living planet. The third example is Tom's. Although Tom's is a profitable brand, the business model is based around helping people. Tom's has trademarked the phrase "one for one," which is sometimes confused with a charity. Another example is Johnson & Johnson, a company involved in the research and development, manufacturing, and selling of healthcare products. This brand has established a reputation as the family company, and they attempt to live up to that every day. Next example is Procter Gamble. Procter Gamble is a global manufacturer and distributor of branded consumer packaged goods. P&G's culture reflects its tagline, touching lives, improving lives. The sixth example is Volvo. Volvo is a luxury automobile company based in Sweden. Volvo uses slogans like "Drive the future" and "Share the planet" to communicate with its customers. The next example is the Salvation Army, an organization that accepts donations around the holidays. The Salvation Army's national brand strategy and distinguishing identifying theme is "Doing the Most Good." Next is Campbell's. Campbell's makes soups, baked foods, beverages, and snacks, among other things. The goal of the company is to make people happy by providing them with a sense of fulfillment. Another example is John Lewis & Partners. John Lewis & Partners is a high-end department store chain based in the United Kingdom. The company's first used slogan in 1925 was "Never intentionally undersold." The last example of the caregiver archetype is Huggies, an American brand of disposable diapers and baby wipes. The company's new tagline for the brand, "We got you, baby," includes a reinvented look, feel, and voice that sums up some of the best examples of the caregiver brand. Now let me summarize everything for you so you can see how the caregiver archetype can be portrayed in branding. The caregiver brand's tone of voice is always warm, caring, and reassuring. In general, the caregiver archetype gives a good identification for brands which provides assistance to people in need. The caregiver brand would do well in industries like healthcare, non-profit, hospitals, and education. In summary, there are 12 main archetypes, as I mentioned earlier in this video. However, each archetype has 4 sub-archetypes, so the caregiver archetype is the family's representation. The caregiver archetype family includes Guardian, Samaritan Healer, and Angel. Learn how to develop your brand personality and your brand strategy in general. Visit my blog to learn more.